Hello, good evening. The editor of one of the Midlands' biggest local newspapers has called for them to be treated differently from their national counterparts under new regulations. Since the Leveson Inqury into media ethics, the government's been promising to bring in tough new rules, but won't lay out its plans until the autumn. BBC Radio Stoke's political reporter Phil McCann has more.
Morning. Celebrities, public figures and the families of murder victims have all piled the pressure on the national press during the Leveson Inquiry. But local papers have not been guilty of the same indiscretions of their national counterparts, although they would be subject to the same new rules, leaving them worried.
Leveson should look at the national press in isolation and deal with the national press. They're the bad boys, we're not.
But campaigners insist if local papers do nothing wrong, they'll have nothing to worry about.
If they're operating good practice, it won't be a burden. It'll simply be a benefit to them because the public will know they can trust the journalism they're producing.
And on this week's Sunday Politics, there was broad agreement that the government needs to take action.
I totally agree that their standards are in many ways much higher. But the fact is that the government, any government, has got to deal with the scandal that there is at the moment.
All this comes at a time when newspaper circulations have been plummeting. Over the last 10 years, the Sentinel circulation has nearly halved. Back in 2002, nearly 80,000 people bought the paper every day. 10 years later, that figure is down to just over 40,000, a drop of 45%. It's a figure that's typical of many local papers. The main parties are in rough agreement that there need to be tough new rules, but they're in a standoff with the press, who have rival plans. It all makes the future for local papers look even more uncertain. Phil McCann, BBC Midlands Today, Stoke-on-Trent.
West